we talked about this yesterday, right? And me, like, what I love about working with Chuck, what I love about working with Jen and Sylvia Saska is they're kind of, they're professionals, right? So they
Mhm.
want to understand who these characters are. I
Yeah.
remember so vividly there in the chat where, Jen, Sylvia, or either of them would shoot me a text. They're in the middle of writing a story and they're like, would this character do this? Like,
Yeah.
look, wanting to like truly understand. And if I say, yes, or give further explanation, or say not quite, they write to understand who it is that they are, which is why you come up with a result of, like I said, I mentioned this with Alpha Core and Chuck. It's like Chuck, every character is exactly how I envision them, right? The characters that I created that are part of that story. So
Hmm.
with Brian, with Braxwell, with Ingrid, exactly who I needed them to be. But it's a story that I couldn't tell because I'm not Chuck Dixon. And
Yeah.
and that's the beautiful part
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
of this whole ordeal of working with professionals and growing this universe, is because you're working with people that actually give a shit enough to be like, you know what? I'm not writing this for simply me or to write me into this character. What I am doing is trying to understand who that character is, and then putting them in a fresh environment, a fresh, believable story and a scenario that these people are, that these characters are in, and that the audience can pick up on and enjoy for whatever, for years to come. And that's I think the difference between working with fuckers that maybe this is kind of the flavor of the mainstream. This is kind of what it is that they do, where you have people that aren't necessarily competent enough to even fuck writing, to even understand the characters, right? That they are writing, which is why you would get something like Batman, and there's this rally essentially happening where people are breaking into shit,
Yeah.
and then Batman's just going over it, and he says, "Well, it is what it is. They got
They're
insurance."
insured. They'll be fine. Type of
That is
business.
so fucking out of character
Yes.
for Batman. But what that tells me is that the person that's writing them, they don't know who they are. They
In
don't even.
Batman Year 2, which I just reread, and we discussed it on Afternoon Tea a couple of weeks ago. In Batman Year 2, there's a group of just burglars in a house nicking shit, and Batman comes in, and they're like, "Fuck!" And it's like, we didn't think we didn't think we're big enough for you, and he was just like, "You're criminals,"
Yeah.
Nobody's is too small. Yeah, it shows a complete fundamental understanding. When I roasted the Hawk Girl 1 comic recently, which was it's not even toilet paper, because I wouldn't waste my fucking beautiful sphincter on that fucking paper. You had everybody sounded the same. Every character sounded the same. Even Superman, who's
Yeah.
in it for a couple of panels, sounds like some in Valley Girl from California. It's like, oh my god, yeah. After this, we're like totally gonna go for like milkshakes. And it's just like, you don't have necessarily just a complete understanding of character. You've got a complete understanding of writing.
Yeah.
You don't know how to write.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Your dialogue is inane. It's going nowhere. It means nothing. It's meaningless. It doesn't progress anything.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't craft character. You are literally pushing people into situations that you can say something agenda driven. She sat down with a friend from college. I don't think I'm like a girl anymore, so I'm still poking that one with a stick. And even though I was dating a guy last time, I'm sort of like wondering if you're interested in having a relationship with me. And you're just like, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Straight
You
up.
know? If I was given Hawk Girl and they said, hey, we'd like to give you a 6-issue miniseries of Hawk Girl, man, I would be straight on to reading as much Hawk Girl as possible. Let's read. Let's see where the consistencies of character are. Let's see where characters where they deviate and I can potentially play with. Let's see her motivations. Let's see what drives her. Let's see her relationship with people and how she behaves. That's what I would be looking at to craft my story.
Right.
But they're giving it to people that are just like, oh my God, I just want everyone to be just like me.
Yeah. That's how they write. And
Stop it.
it just makes for just again, definitely with established characters, just make for bad art all around. Alpha Core #1's pre-order is live. Written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. Visit Rippaverse.com to grab a copy and any of the merchandise items. Be sure to also check out the animated trailer for the campaign, which is the latest project from Rippaverse Studios. Y'all be easy.